They liked the balance that they had in race.
Casey Kane, we congratulate him, his third career pole.
It's all three Hendrick Motorsports in the front.
There's a few movers and shakers out there.
To victory lane is Joey Logano.
Get the inside line on who's fast and who's last before setting your NASCAR fantasy race team this weekend. This is the Inside Line on MRN.com, presented by Hercules Tires. Now, here are your fantasy experts, Robbie Mays and Tyler Burnett.
Happy Friday, everyone, and also happy St. Patrick's Day. It's a pleasure having you on the Inside Line Fantasy Racing Show presented by Hercules Tires. As you heard, this is Robbie Mays. I'm Tyler Burnett, and here to talk fantasy racing as we do each and every week with this 30-minute edition on Friday.
And I'm hoping that our picks are lucky this weekend.
Why? Because
it's St. Patrick's Day. It's St. Patrick's Day. And last week we both struggled. We didn't have good times last week.
Well, if you had Kevin Harvick like we both did, and really anyone who has
a lot of people
who has a
have
pulse probably should have had Kevin Harvick, unless you're and I say I'm not going to mention Rich Colbreth on this
why
show
do you?
ever. Because
every
I'm
week you
I'm
say you're
really
not gonna mention
upset.
Rich, and then you pick Rich. You talk about Rich.
I can't stand how lucky he gets because
I know
he doesn't start the best fantasy racing car there is in the entire garage.
I know.
And
it worked
of course
out
it
for
worked
him.
out for him.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's just a little bit bitterness. Also, and you know what's interesting about Kevin Harvick though? Yes, he blew a tire. Yes, he was going to be good. In fact, he was already into the top 5 when he was halfway through. And I guess Rich Colbreth is on the line now to defend himself. Rich, what do you want?
Listen, you know, you've been
Are
calling
you
me
on
names
your
all
phone
week.
from the desk?
You've been I'm not walking in there. I'm not on the show today. I'm on the phone today. Listen, you've been calling me names all week, and quite frankly, I'm insulted. And but I didn't start Kevin Harvick because I had other options.
No, it's insulting to our fantasy knowledge to have you not starting the best car in the garage.
How did he get this number?
If you would have done your homework, you would have noticed
if I would have done my
Chase
homework.
Elliott and Martin Truex Jr. had the fastest times during on the practice on Friday and Saturday.
That's good. Darryl, why'd you bring him on?
I don't understand. And you know what, Robbie, you may not know this story. This is a funny story. We're texting back and forth during the race, so I know he was just giddy with excitement because I didn't start Harvick. He asked me who my start. He asked me who'd you have on your team, and I said, well, I got Truex, I've got Brad Keselowski, and I got Chase Elliott. And he goes, what? You're not going to start Kevin Harvick? I said, I couldn't afford him.
I think we're done.
I'm done.
Let's go to commercial. This is the
2
Inside
minutes.
Line Fantasy Racing Show presented by Hercules Tires.
If you do-it-yourselfers are looking for the right tool for the job, stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts Power Torque Tools DIY Day Sale. You'll find a wide selection of Power Torque tools on sale now and guaranteed for life. Power Torque Tools DIY Day Sale going on now at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limit supply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Today, Toyota's featured NASCAR fan is Carrie, Queen of Cakes.
So, Carrie, why do they call you Queen of Cakes?
Well, whenever Toyota wins a NASCAR race, I make a life-size Camry cake.
Really?
Yeah, delicious and made in America, just like the dang car. And with all Toyota's wins last year, it was life-size Camry Cake City. Who even lost a kid at one point. Tried to drive one of the cakes. Had to eat his way out of the drivetrain. Bless his heart.
Let's go NASCAR fans.
Toyota, let's go places. To learn more, visit ToyotaRacing.com. NASCAR is a registered trademark of the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing, Inc. Toyota vehicles and components are built using U.S. and globally sourced parts.
The new NASCAR season and spring break are about to share one weekend at Phoenix Raceway. So what can you expect? Rowdy Bush, Kevin the Closer Harvick, Jimmy, I need a new nickname, Johnson, grills, games, body paint, trading paint, new foods, new friends, new stories you'll probably want to keep off Facebook, nail-biting, rule-breaking, trophy-winning, pins, needles, goosebumps, green flags, can't breathe, can't wait. Come on, race day. The Camping World 500, March 17th through the 19th. Visit PhoenixRaceway.com, get tickets from $25, win spring break.
Welcome back to the Inside Line. Here are your hosts, Robbie Mays and Tyler Burnett.
Because we did not get a chance to promote the show that's coming up today, Alex Hayden will be on the line. We had to, of course, cut Rich Colbreth off.
We're changing our phone number.
I will say
we are changing our phone number.
I will say Colbreth did have a good day in fantasy, and I will give him that credit. He is now in the top 20 in fantasy points out of 3,000 people in our NASCAR.com Fantasy Live League. I also need to give a shout out to Kyle Baugh. I apologize if I did not pronounce your name right.
Probably.
He tweeted us that he had a great fantasy finish this past week. He jumped from 69th to 4th in our fantasy league. If you're 4th in our fantasy league, you're most likely in the top 200 or top 300 in the world.
And you know when to put Kevin Harvick on your team, when not to put Kevin Harvick on your team.
Yeah, no, most likely. All right, Robbie, let's do our 3, 2, 1 surprises leaving Las Vegas. Your number one surprise leaving the Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
My number one surprise leaving Las Vegas, it's the name of the movie, I think, is Jimmy and Junior. Okay, so Jimmy Johnson, Dale Earnhardt Jr., neither have scored a top 10 finish in 2017. Both were mediocre, on Sunday at Las Vegas while being outraced by their teammates Casey Kane and Chase Elliott. I think if they struggle this weekend at Phoenix, there's a problem. Both of them have won at Phoenix before. Both of them have been very good recently at Phoenix. If they struggle this weekend, there's a problem in the 48-88 bunch.
And one thing I do agree with Rich on, unfortunately, is that Chase Elliott was a good fantasy start last week.
Absolutely.
And going forward, most likely will be. However, I'm not sure about Phoenix. He has had good runs there. But mile-and-a-half racetracks, I think you have to think about starting the 24.
Here's the tip. Last year at Phoenix, 6 drivers finished in the top 10 in both races. Chase Elliott was one of them.
All right. That's a good stat.
Also, Kevin Harvick, Ryan Blaney, Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch, and Kurt Busch.
Yes, and Ryan Blaney is actually my number one surprise leaving the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I put him on my fantasy racing team on Sunday morning because of the way he was running in practices, because of the way he qualified, and because how fast the Team Penske cars were. And in fact, in my opinion, they were the 3 best cars other than Martin Truex Jr. at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. So Ryan Blaney, and you mentioned, he has 2 top 10s at Phoenix. He only had 9 top 10s all year last year. 2 of those came at the Phoenix Raceway. So I think Ryan Blaney would be a pretty good start this week.
Yeah, and another guy I think is going to be a good start this week is Clint Boyer. He's my second surprise leaving Vegas. Finished 10th on Sunday, highest finishing Stewart-Haas racing car. He is meeting my expectations. I really think he is. I expected him to go in that car, run well at Daytona, run well at some of the intermediate tracks at the beginning of the season, and that's what he's doing right now. He's getting passing points. He's qualifying. He's finishing better than what he's qualifying. So if you're looking for passing points in your league, Clint Boyer is getting those for you right now. He's also getting good, strong top 10 runs right now. I think he's a good car going forward.
My only thing with Boyer is, first off, what does he cost? And secondly, he's only finishing in the back end of the top 10, which is not very many points. So
he's $16.
See, $16 is a pretty decent bargain for Clint Boyer. I
Sure.
mean, I was thinking he was somewhere, because I just haven't looked at him. I was thinking somewhere in the 22, 23 range.
No, he's $16 right now. So right now he's a good place to pick him up for your team, I think.
Definitely. My second biggest surprise leaving Las Vegas was Joe Gibbs Racing. In 3 races this year, Joe Gibbs Racing has a combined total of 1 top 5, and that was with Matt Kenseth at Atlanta. Last year, going into this race, they had 6 top 5s already going into Phoenix. Are they down? I don't know. Have they not figured out this rules package? I don't know. But Joe Gibbs Racing is my second biggest surprise right now.
Well, if you go back to the races last year where we ran the L2 package, I believe it was Team Penske that won at least 2 of those races, maybe all of them. So I had expected the Fords to come out like gangbusters this year with this rules package. I wasn't sure what Toyota was going to do. Obviously, Martin Truex Jr. figured it out on Sunday afternoon, led a bunch of laps, won all 3 stages, and won the race. So speaking of stages, my third surprise from Sunday, stage strategy. I thought Sunday we finally saw the end of these stages play out the way that everybody expected them to. We had late cautions, about 10 laps to go before each stage ended. We saw various cars use pit strategy to either get up further in the line to try to get points or put on 4 tires to try to pass a bunch of people. Some guys it worked, some guys it didn't. But I'm interested to see, Tyler, if this stage strategy that we saw last week at Las Vegas can play out going forward the rest of the season.
And hold that nugget for a second so I can finish my last surprise. My last surprise is Chip Ganassi Racing with Kyle Larson and Jamie McMurray. 2 straight second-place finishes for Kyle Larson, another top 10 for Jamie McMurray. That team is surprising me, there's no doubt. In fact, they're running better right now than Hendrick Motorsports as a whole with 2 cars. So Kyle Larson, Jamie McMurray. Larson was 3rd the last time we were at Phoenix, so you can look at Larson on your team. Now, back to the stage racing. This week, when you start your fantasy racing team at Phoenix Raceway, you have to look at who's going to start on the front row. And the stage racing is going to be important because I was listening to Todd Gordon on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio this week. you can go the first stage without pitting.
Yeah.
75 laps is a fuel run at Phoenix. If Kevin Harvick, Kurt Busch, somebody like that starts on the front row, Truex isn't all that great at Phoenix Raceway, but if someone like that who's going to lead a lot of laps starts in the front row, you might want to start him because they can lead 75 laps right off the bat.
Exactly. And 75 laps, that's for every lap you get a half a point in NASCAR.com. So absolutely. Look who the qualifying this afternoon is going to be more important than any race we've seen so far this year. Speaking of Phoenix, obviously Kevin Harvick needs to be on your team this weekend. He's an 8-time winner here. Led a redonkulous amount of laps over the last 10 races. His 10-race average is a 2.7. His 5-race average is a 1.8.
Yeah, and
put him on your team.
Yeah, in his last 7 races at Phoenix, he's led 1,064 laps.
Yeah.
So that pretty much puts it into perspective. That's 48% of the laps we've run, and the last 7 races, he has led those 48. So in my opinion, Kevin Harvick is a must-start.
Right.
But other than that, I don't really know who's locked in on my team. I don't have a second must-start guy on my team this week.
I think you got to look at Team Penske. I think you got to look at Joey Logano. Obviously, he won here last fall, which propelled him to the Final Four at Homestead Miami Speedway. 9 top 10s and 16 starts. That's pretty decent. His teammate, Brad Keselowski, you think flat tracks, you think of Brad Keselowski. At least I do. Never won here, 7 top 10s. Struggled last year, though, but I would expect those guys to be up on the chip this weekend.
Yeah, and really we can just give you the numbers from past numbers at Phoenix Raceway and tell you to look at practices, to look at qualifying. I like Kyle Busch as a guy who has top 5s in his last 3 starts at Phoenix. Matt Kenseth nearly won this race in the fall. He finished 21st, of course, got in with Joey Logano and Kyle Busch on that last restart, and Kenseth was good all day long at Phoenix. I like Kurt Busch. He has 5 straight top 10s at Phoenix. That's another a team that could potentially win this race on Sunday. And, of course, we mentioned Ryan Blaney. He has 2 top 10s in his last 2 races at Phoenix. His only 2 races in the Cup Series at Phoenix.
Yeah, like I mentioned, he's one of 6 drivers who had top 10s in both races last year. I mentioned a little while ago that Jimmy Johnson, Dale Jr. were struggling, but I like right now what Chase Elliott's doing. He's running consistently, running better than what he's qualifying right now. And I also like what Casey Kane's doing right now. I know they didn't get a top 10 finish at Las Vegas last week, but right now Casey Kane is better than Jimmy or Junior. So if you're looking for Hendrick drivers, I think Chase and Casey Kane are the 2 to look at right now.
Yes, definitely. Alex Hayden's on the other side of the break. This is the Inside Line Fantasy Racing Show presented by Hercules Tires.
If your wiper blades are worn and streaking, stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts and save $8 instantly on a pair of Rain-X Latitude wiper blades. Improve visibility and save money with Rain-X Latitude wiper blades. Plus, take advantage of our free wiper blade installation. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Citywide to countryside, whatever you drive, wherever you go. Hercules Tires has the value, selection, and industry-leading warranty to get you there, no matter where the road takes you. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
This is Steve Post.
I'm Aaron Evernham.
Tuesdays at 12 Eastern, join us for Wing Nation on MRN.com, the MRN app, YouTube, and Facebook Live on MRN's Facebook page.
We'll give you the latest race results from the dirt tracks and have all the latest Wing Sprint Car news.
We'll also talk with drivers from the world of outlaws to local tracks all over America.
Can't listen live? Check out Wing Nation on demand on iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, and MRN.com.
Let's talk more fantasy racing on the Inside Line. Here's Robbie and Tyler.
We just mentioned some of the guys and gals you could look at Phoenix this weekend for your fantasy team. A couple sleepers. Michael McDowell, 18th place car last week, started 26th, though his best finish at Phoenix is 26th. Ty Dillon, the Germain Racing car, finished 18th with Casey Mears last fall. Ty finished 15th in this race last year. AJ Allmendinger, average of 18.2, and Eric Almirola, he was 14th last week, though. That doesn't really matter, Robbie, but he has a good average finish. He was 10th in this race in 2015.
Yep. Also, I think Trevor Bayne might be a good option this weekend as well. Finished 13th last week at Las Vegas.
Let's continue that conversation with Alex Hayden, MRN pit reporter. He's going to be in Phoenix this weekend. Alex, who do you like this week in Phoenix, man? I mean, it's good to talk to you. We haven't been on the show this year at all.
I know, right? I was getting a little complex. I didn't think you guys liked me anymore. You know, and that may be true. You know, who do I like? I think it's broken down to a couple of different ways. I've been putting a lot of thought into going into Phoenix, and I'll give you some teams and some driver combinations that I really like. First of all, I'm going to start with Joey Logano. Logano's the only driver in the first 3 races of the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series that's got top 10 finishes in all 3 races. Nobody else has accomplished that. So you got to look at that. And after what happened last week at Las Vegas, this team has got a little bit more of a chip on their shoulder. They've won at Phoenix. I think Logano's a solid contender. Certainly, you got to look at Kevin Harvick. I mean, I'm sure you guys have gone over this ad nauseum. Anytime we go to Phoenix, you got to look at Kevin Harvick. Since they reconfigured this track, they've run 11 Cup races there. Harvick's led 35% of the laps, for crying out loud, won 5 of the last 7. How do you not look at Harvick? Does that mean I think he's going to win the race? I don't know, but I think he'll be a top 5 car for sure. I love the Ganassi cars, and it doesn't matter if it's here at Phoenix or any place else. What Ganassi's doing is something pretty special right now with Jamie McMurray, Kyle Larson. Larson is hot right now. He was 3rd in this race back in November. I really think Kyle Larson is a guy that's going to win some races this year. I know he's got a lot of second-place finishes under his belt, but I think it's getting close to that time. And I think the big reason we're seeing a lot of this success for Larson is this low downforce package that NASCAR's implemented, and he's a sprint car racer, as a lot of these guys formally are, but Larson's very active still in it, and it suits his driving style. McMurray's just good. He's been solid every week. And at Phoenix, McMurray's just a good driver. The other one that I like, believe it or not, even though he has yet to score a top 10 at all this year, is Dale Earnhardt Jr. And here's why. They had a test back out at Phoenix in January, and Earnhardt went and ran that test. Coming off of missing half of last year, Earnhardt felt good about the car. Here's the important thing, though. Alex Bowman drove that car nearly to a win at Phoenix back in November. And the team, after the Earnhardt test in January, the team told me personally that Earnhardt was running comparable times. So if the team feels good about it, they know they've got a fast race car and then the setup there. But I think Dale Earnhardt Jr. is going to make some noise this weekend.
Yeah, Jr.'s definitely one to think about. I want to touch on the first guy you talked about with Joey Logano. And of course, you watched the incident last week at Las Vegas with him and Kyle Busch. And of course, NASCAR CEO Brian France says there will be no retaliation, and I seem to think that that's going to be the case because of the harsh penalty we saw Matt Kenseth get after the Martinsville incident. However, I've been getting tweets this week. I've been getting comments. Do you think about maybe not starting Joey Logano just because someone's going to race him hard? There's some guys that are not happy with him. Alex, do you think that potentially there could be some retaliation because Phoenix could be a good racetrack to do it?
No, I don't expect any retaliation at all, and here's why. I know from my inside sources that the very next day, on Monday, Kyle Busch and Joey Logano talked it out. I don't expect there's going to be any kind of retaliation whatsoever. You mentioned the hammer that NASCAR put down on Matt Kenseth when he and Logano got together in Martinsville. Well, it wasn't so much he and Logano got together. He got into Logano and pile driving. So I don't expect that. And here's the thing also about Logano when it comes to other drivers. I understand Logano is a hard racer, and that's what Ty Gordon, his crew chief, that's what he loves about him. He drives every lap hard. And isn't that what we all want as race fans? I mean, that's part of this whole new system that we have for points is to make drivers race hard. Logano's one of those guys that's going to race hard every time. And for some reason, there's a lot of people that look at him as now as the villain. So I think Joey Logano's the guy that he's not necessarily the bully, but everybody knows he's going to race hard. I think Logano's going to be solid.
Good.
Alex, we've talked about the heavy hitters, the guys who we know are going to be up front on Sunday. Let's talk about some mid-pack drivers. One guy I talked about earlier today is Clint Bowyer. I'm a believer in what Clint Bowyer is doing right now. Do you agree with that? Is he a good option for a middle-of-the-road, 15, 16-buck kind of guy this weekend in Phoenix?
Absolutely he is. And I think he's been flying under the radar, just trying to get his footing back with this new race team and trying to learn his new crew chief and learn the way things are going with that team. I absolutely am a Clint Bowyer believer this year. I think he's going to make a lot of noise this weekend.
Good stuff. Martin Truex Jr. won last week at Las Vegas. his numbers really aren't that great at the Phoenix Raceway. But Alex, who do you think wins this weekend in the Valley of the Sun in the desert in Phoenix?
I think Joey Logano wins this weekend. I really do, and that's going to hack off a lot of race fans. But I think Logano wins this race. I think guys like Ryan Newman, who's got 3 top 5s, 5 top 10s at Phoenix, I think Newman's going to make some noise. Larson, McMurray, and certainly Kevin Harvick. I will stay completely away as a fantasy owner, though, of any Joe Gibbs Racing car. They've only got 2 wins total as a race team at this track since they've been in business. No wins at Phoenix since March of 2012. Stay away from Joe Gibbs Racing at Phoenix.
Yeah, and I mentioned the run that Joe Gibbs Racing is on right now. When we went to this race last year, Alex, Joe Gibbs Racing had 6 top 5s already. They currently have 1, and that was Matt Kenseth at Atlanta. Is it something to do with they haven't figured out the rules package, or is it just something that's not falling the right way for them right now?
It's not falling the right way. And if you look back at November's race, Matt Kenseth was leading on the green-white checker coming in overtime racing, and he got taken out in a crash. So I think it's circumstances. Then when you look at the way this season's going, Kyle Busch is yet to score a top 10 finish. Austin Dillon, no top 10. Jimmy Johnson, no top 10. Eric Jones, Daniel Suarez, no top 10s at all in 3 races.
All right. There's Alex Hayden, everyone. Let's tonight. Let's celebrate St. Patrick's Day in Phoenix, Alex, and we'll go racing tomorrow and have some fun on Sunday.
Green beers for everyone, boys.
Alex Hayden, everyone, most likely getting ready to tee off on a golf course in the United States somewhere.
He dropped some knowledge on me earlier this week on Twitter.
Okay.
Apparently, Phoenix is called the Valley of the Sun because it's in a valley and it's always sunny.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be
that's ginormous if that's true.
It's going to be 93 to 95 degrees every day that we're there.
I'm glad I lost a bunch of weight this year.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to break. This is the Inside Line Fantasy Racing Show presented by Hercules Tires.
O'Reilly.
If you do-it-yourselfers are looking for the right tool for the job, stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts Power Torque Tools DIY Day Sale. You'll find a wide selection of Power Torque tools on sale now and guaranteed for life. Power Torque Tools DIY Day Sale going on now at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limit supply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Today, Toyota's featured NASCAR fan is Dr. Tom Pierce.
So, Dr. Tom, what's your claim to fame?
Well, due to all of Toyota's NASCAR wins last year, I wrote thousands of doctor's notes for fans for overexcitement hypertension, a condition that requires a day off work to rest.
Sounds like a responsible doctor.
Doctor? I'm not a real doctor, bro. Would a doctor get a guy off work for overexcitement about the new Camry? Because I did.
Let's go NASCAR fans.
Toyota, let's go places. To learn more, visit toyotaracing.com. NASCAR is a registered trademark of the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing, Inc.
Motor Racing Network has always been your source for motorsports coverage when you couldn't be at the track. Now, never miss another minute of our breathtaking coverage with the MRN app, available on your iPhone or Android device. This free app delivers all the latest news, locates nearby MRN stations, streams your favorite programs, and is your home for live Sprint Cup practice and qualifying action. Search MRN in the App Store or on Google Play. It's the Motor Racing Network at your fingertips, and it's available for free right now.
We now return to the Inside Line with Robbie and Tyler.
Welcome back to the Inside Line Fantasy Racing Show presented by Hercules Tires. Getting ready to go Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series practicing here in just a little while on the Motor Racing Network, and 2 fun races. I love Phoenix. It's one of my favorite stops on the tour. Yeah.
Seems like you're on another planet when you're there for 3 days.
You know what else seems like it's on another planet? What? You, because you don't know pop culture. So let's play everyone's favorite game of the week.
Do you live your life up under a rock? Or are you Tyler Burnett?
I'm still bitter about 2 weeks ago when I knew everything about that picture. Last week I had no chance, so I will say that. So let's see if you throw another hard one at me.
And I still claim this is the #1 rated game show on Motor Racing Network. All right, so this is a photograph. It is a screen grab from a very popular movie that came out before you were born, but I still expect you to know what it is. So I just need the name of the movie.
All right.
Just give me the name of the movie. So let's cue it up and let's play Under a Rock.
I think I do know it.
Do you really? Okay, what is it?
I think it's Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh, man.
Yes!
Yes, that is from Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Can I hold it? The Rock, baby.
1986.
Conquered it. Yes. Who's the actor again?
Matthew Broderick.
That's what you get.
See, I don't like that part.
Beat me every day.
I don't like that.
Whatever. Let's get Rango.
Rango.
Actually, Rango had a very good day last week. You picked Martin Truex Jr. to win. You picked Martin Truex Jr. to win last week.
Where's
No,
Rango?
I did not
Let's
see.
have Rango.
I did not see his team in the top 100, but he did pick Truex to win, and he was on his team. And he didn't have Kevin Harvick. So he had to have finished in at least top 200.
I don't like this new thing where you throw the rock at me when you get it
If
right.
I win, see, I honestly should be 2-1 right now this year because 2 weeks ago it was just wrong.
Well, you missed the first. Anyway, okay. So Los Pollos Hermanos. Rango.
You can't read? Kevin Harvick, Kyle Larson, Clint Boyer, Ryan Blaney, and Matt DiBenedetto is on his team.
I like it.
Kevin Harvick is his winner, and Ford is his manufacturer. Robbie Mays, who wins this weekend at the Camping World 500 on Sunday?
I'm totally going to jinx this young man, and I am so sorry for it, but I am picking Kyle Larson to win on Sunday.
Kyle Larson to win. So Joey Logano is Alex's pick. Robbie Mays has Kevin Harvick. Kyle Larson.
No, I have Kyle Larson.
I know, Kyle Larson for Robbie.
Yeah, Rango
Let me
has
finish
Harvick.
my sentence.
Okay.
And then my pick to win, I don't really know. I wanted Kevin Harvick, but since Rango has him, I'll take Matt Kenseth. I know Alex Hayden says stay away from the Joe Gibbs racing cars, but this is a completely different racetrack than we've been to all year.
Sure.
Kenseth was near a victory the last time we were there.
Yep.
Kyle Busch was near a victory the last time we were there. I think Matt Kenseth wins this weekend.
Okay.
You like it?
I still think that the JGR cars are struggling a little bit, so I would avoid putting them on my team.
We're going to
this
find
week,
out this week,
okay.
I guess. And to your point about having a surprise with Dale Earnhardt Jr., we're going to find out if he's struggling this week too, because this is probably one of his best racetracks.
It's one of his best racetracks. It's one of his favorite racetracks. He's won here before. He's won poles here before. I think Junior is going to do fine this weekend.
Coming up today and here in less than 2 hours, Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series practice with Joe Moore and Jeff Striegel. Also qualifying coming up at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Tomorrow we'll have 2 Cup Series practices, noon and 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And then, of course, the DC Solar 200 at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. And then, of course, Sunday, the Camping World 500, 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Robbie, I hope your fantasy team doesn't do well like it always does.
That's just mean. That's mean. As my friend, as my partner on the show,
my friend?
you should hope that I do well.
And you're going to start Kevin Harvick, right?
And I'm going to start Kevin Harvick.
All right. Let's just hope you do start Kevin Harvick. All right.
We'll tweet our official league picks coming up on Sunday afternoon.
Yes. And then enjoy St. Patty's Day.
Absolutely.
Are you going to have some green beer?
I think we'll go out and have some fun.
Well, you're inviting me?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I'll be in Phoenix this weekend, so I'm looking forward to it.
And you're going to be, sending some tweets out on
Yeah.
MRN.com,
Yeah.
everything like that?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Good times.
Should be a good one.
Great.
All right. Again,
I feel like our show is
practice,
doing great until just this moment.
2 p.m. Eastern Time today, the Camping World 500. Join us at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time for the pre-race. We'll talk to you next week. Where are we going? Martinsville?
Auto Club.
Auto Club.
Speedway.
The Auto Club Speedway. Next week here on the Inside Line.
You've been listening to the Inside Line, presented by Hercules Tires. Stream us every Friday on MRN.com or the MRN app. The Inside Line is also available on demand in the MRN.com Media Center, on our Facebook page, on YouTube, or download it through iTunes or Google Play. The Inside Line is a production of the Motor Racing Network.